button.
Do you want me to reposition these screens?
Yeah, whatever's comfortable for Jamie.
So this one, I want as central as possible.
Central as possible.
Because I don't think I need to look that way to see anyone at any point.
That one, do you want more?
And then that one.
In your eye line.
Let me think. So, but my head isn't quite right.
This will be pushed back into this.
If you watch one of the monitors now, can you let me know what it is? When do I look at
I've always got this photo
as in like this screen here?
When do I look like I'm looking at the
to see this.
Yeah, like there, I'd say. So you want it primarily where?
Ideally, if the screen was further over that, you could see straight into it and look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
We could unplug it and I can
my
go
head
along
won't
there.
go further than this anyway.
It won't go, James. But would it have if it was somewhere in the middle here?
Not really, because it's where my headrest ends. So it's a mechanical limitation.
All right, if you're comfortable with it there, that's fine. Leave it there.
Yeah.
But I think that is
You can catch it just in your peripheral vision as much as possible, and that's just a six. So we can see it by pressure.
like at the moment, what I'm like looking at is the very edge of Jackie's box. So
that's right. Yes.
And what I'm hoping it looks like. It looks like my eyes are fixed on the zoom.
Yes, it does. Yeah. It goes to the monitor. So.
It has.
Now,
It's good. The camera is very good.
We could try later on and see.
With that other cable.
Longer
Have
cable.
you got the? Oh, okay. We
Then you know it's.
We might try that later on. Yeah. So put the headphones on for a minute. Hello, I'm back with you. I can hear you again now. Hello. So as you can see, we're just trying to get Jamie in the right position. This is not. It's not a big scene. This involving Jamie. It's more the scene actually, and I don't know how Jamie wants to manage this. The scene that we're kind of set up here is more a conversation between yourselves as these panel members in this particular scene. So I'll hand it over to Jamie in a moment. Once the audio is set up and Jamie can talk to you and hear you, could you just, I think as long as I can't hear myself coming back to me, that's pretty good. I can't hear any echoes. Everyone's sound is good. Everyone got their microphones open at the moment?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, 1 2 1 2. That's nice. I'm just doing a level check because sometimes I can hear my own voice come back to me, but I can't hear Jamie yet. No. Okay, so I'll let you do that then, Luke. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Luke now.
And I guess from my perspective, it's because we've done pre-recorded versions of Apple before, where everyone has been live and we just recorded the script of the discussion.
They are connected. It says they are connected. I don't know if you have to adjust it in vMix then, Paul.
Oh, is that the headphones or the microphone?
The headphones themselves are in the
output.
Yes, they're already audio is connected at least. May need to properly charge them at some point, Jamie, just because they're on 20% right now. But that should last us anyway for.
Well, what I'll do is I'll make sure that I've got one of those in one here.
Yeah.
So I'll charge the
1
other
2
one
1
of those
2.
while I'm using this one.
And then if the other
And
one
then
dies, we
then
can
I
switch
swap
around.
ears.
Nice. Okay. And let me just check on
Is that one also connected?
this, which is your headset.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's all. That's all connected.
that's good.
And
Connected mic audio. That's not headphones though, is it?
oh, mic and audio.
Oh, is it? Mic and audio. Okay. This will be it. This will be it.
This is like general output anyway.
Yeah.
So if I'd say your best bet would be changing the audio settings in vMix instead, basically. So they are connected to the laptop. It's just to make sure they're going through the right channel.
But I don't think I can change the output, the audio output. I only have one master output that should be going.
Okay.
That I don't know if currently it's going through to these. But I think when you had it set up there, you showed me that choose device for speaker. You see at the moment it's coming to these ones. It has to go into the Galaxy Buds.
Yep.
So Jamie can hear them now. Jamie should be able to hear them now. Do you apply that, or do that? Just,
That list just doesn't.
and microphones, we should be okay with. What is the microphone? Yeah, microphones should be okay because I should be able to control those in vMix. The microphones, the inputs are not a problem. It's the outputs. So Jamie's the only one that can hear.
So change this back to that.
No.
About input?
So Jamie can hear it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
Jamie
yeah.
can't hear it. So leave that where it is.
That's fine now.
That's choose where to play sound.
Occasionally get a little buzz of sound.
It should be able to, now it's basically going through to your Galaxy
Choose
Buds.
device for speakers.
Like, you hear that little,
Oh, I see. Sorry, this is choose device for speaking or recording. Just change that a second. Oh, we don't need to worry about that actually.
yeah?
Yeah, you can leave that one. It's not a big issue for us because this is only
And it's very, very, very quiet sound. Very background.
Okay, let me up the output for you. Did you hear that?
I heard the computer thing,
Was that loud enough?
barely.
Barely, okay.
Can somebody on the call give us a 1-2, a sound check so Jamie can hear you?
2, 1, 2.
Is my audio coming through to them? I'm not sure now.
Very,
Can they hear me?
quiet, but like,
1,
bad,
2,
I think.
1, 2.
Okay.
1,
Hello.
2.
That's
1,
strange.
2.
It may be 1,
Yeah,
2,
yeah.
1, 2. They can hear me. Can you? I can't actually hear. I can't hear Mark or David. That's not a problem. Don't worry.
It's not that.
Jamie's audio.
Sorry. Oh, wonderful. So David's talking. I can see that. Can someone just give me a 1-2 sound check for Jamie to hear?
1, 2. Just to let you know, Jamie's audio is quite
Is that
quiet.
better, Jamie? Can you hear a sound check?
I can, but very quiet.
Very faintly. I wonder why he's hearing it so faintly.
It might be, I don't know whether it's just the buds themselves or.
Can you just go down here a second? I want to just check something quickly at the bottom. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay.
This is
Really silly question. Is there a way of me joining the remix from my phone, just for the audio?
I'm going to give you the audio now. The audio wasn't connected. That's all. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do it right now.
Then I can have it going through my hearing aids. It should be a lot louder.
Oh, that is true. If Jamie connected just audio-wise to the vMix on their phone, they can then connect to the audio on their hearing aids.
Ooh. What was?
Do you want to try what you?
Can I just try this first quickly? Just to try and get the audio, Jamie's microphone into here.
See what works best.
Okay. Jamie, can you do me a 1-2 test?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Wonderful.
1, 2.
And I think now everyone should be able to hear you on the call. Yep, everyone's nodding. Yep, Jackie can hear you. Jackie, can you hear Jamie? Just a little bit, quite faint.
Yeah.
How about Lewis? Can you hear Jamie?
Yeah, it's still a little faint, but it's better than it was.
Can you hear them, Jamie?
Just about, but I'm not always going to be able to make out what people are saying at the current volume.
Okay, let me just go to the audio here a moment. I'm going to change the audio on so I can hear everybody because I can't hear anybody. Luke, could you just show me how you got to the settings on there? Was it in here? So choose where to play sound. So I want to play it just for a moment. Pair a new output. How can I pair an output?
Sorry?
We'll just try and figure this out. Because then as soon as we get the sounds of it, I
Yeah.
think if it's easier, or I think it might just be best to do what James suggested. Because then already you'll get a better sound quality through your hearing aids anyway.
Okay. 1-2. Is that coming through your mic? Oh, that's a bit strange. I'm not hearing myself.
Yeah, I think one of the problems is basically trying to have the vmix that we're running it on, and having the vmix
1
of the
2
performer on the same vmix.
1 2 1 2.
I think that's one of the problems.
Sorry, we're just trying to
Apologies,
challenge
a
these
lot of this
audio
is going to
challenges
end up
here.
being
Won't be a moment.
when we actually get to doing it, the outcome is
Can
really
you just
fantastic. It takes a bit of time to like get everything worked out.
Jamie, just 1 second. I want to get Jamie talking again. Jamie, could you talk? Give me a sound test.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay, and could you hear that there, everybody else?
Yep.
Jamie's sound is okay for you? Okay, we've got Jamie coming in. Jamie, just do another sound for me, can you?
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay, I can hear you very clearly. I can hear. Could everyone else could just say, Lewis? Could you just give me a hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, you're mute. I see. There's no sound from Lewis at the moment.
I'm getting 0 sound.
Did you mute your microphone there on there, Lewis? No.
There is sound.
I'm not getting sound from anyone.
Ooh, that's weird. That's weird. How about Jackie? Can you give me some audio?
Hello. Hello,
No,
hello,
not any
hello.
audio from Jackie either.
Hello, hello.
Why is
hello.
that? What have I done?
Hello, 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 hello. Hi, my name is Jackie, and I'm gonna keep talking until.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I can hear you now. Try again. Sorry, Jackie.
Hello.
1 2.
Hi.
Hello, Jackie. Fantastic.
Nothing.
You're not hearing Jackie?
I'm-
Oh no, you won't hear Jackie just yet. Sorry, Jamie, you won't. Mark, can I hear you? 1 2.
No, we had a little lamb. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Excellent, excellent. And Lewis.
Pimlico, Pamlico, pumpkin, peas, pepper them properly, else you'll sneeze, pop in a pipkin, leave until 1. Pimlico, Pamlico, then they'll be done.
Perfect. Wow, what a sound check. What a sound check. And I can't think of anything else to say now after all that. So that's all good. Let me just hear Jamie. I want to hear Jamie. Whilst I solo Jamie out on this call, I can't hear you. So Jamie, just do me a 1 2.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Everything's coming into vMix beautifully. It's how we can get the audio out of vMix to you, back to you.
So
Your microphone's working perfectly fine.
my best idea is if you send me a vMix link that I have vMix running so that I can hear what's coming out of vMix on my hearing aids.
You're on a vMix call.
Yeah.
Okay, that could work. That could work. The way to do that then, if you want to open up a vMix connection on your so that's advanced vMix calling. It might be a little bit delayed for you. That's the only problem with this. I worry slightly, but
Let's give it a go.
yes,
What's the
yes,
name
we'll try.
and password?
Any name you like. So you put any name you want in, and then your passcode is it's the one that Jack was using the other day, and it's the one you were using initially. It's the pass number is 8782.
Does it end in 44?
Yes.
Cool.
It's already stored in there. So if you call in on that one, oh marvelous! I can now bring you into it, so I can put you in a group call. Just cut you to there. There's a group call here. There we are. What we're just trying to do is we're just trying to pipe the audio back to Jamie through a vMix call in.
I can hear. I'm pretty sure I can hear the audio now. Can we do another sound check?
Yes. Should we just do a quick sound check, everybody? Jackie, can you say hello, please?
Hello, hi.
Perfect.
How are you doing today?
And is that good for you, Jamie? Did you hear Jackie?
That's
okay.
Perfect.
And how about Mark?
Hello, hi Jamie. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2.
Perfect.
Wonderful, wonderful. And finally, we'll go to Lewis, please.
Hello, Jamie. Hope you're doing all right.
Hello.
That's 1 2 3.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
And you can hear Jamie.
We can.
Now then, which audio is Jamie coming through on now? Let me just check.
I've muted my microphone on the vMix call from my
Oh,
mobile.
have you? Brilliant. That's fine then.
I
That's
think
all right.
anyway.
That's good. Yep. Because you're coming through on the microphone directly into here. That's fine. So Jamie might appear a little. Unusually, Jamie's appearing there in a video, just for monitoring purposes of audio. And so anyway, should we? Jamie, over to you. Do you want to converse with your team, and how you'd like to, and then let us know how you'd like to proceed, what you want to try and do today? I'll cut to that scene there, or yeah.
Yep. Okay. Basically, very quick background. With this project, what we're able to do is create a sort of virtual stage and bring everyone onto it. So where before we had a set of scenes that were kind of fixed videos played as if, sorry, I can hear myself because I've got the monitor, so it's quite strange. I think that may be inevitable, Paul, don't worry, I'm just going to have to be used to it. Whereas now we're playing with the fact not just that everyone's live, but that rather than it just being a fixed Zoom call projected onto the screen, what does being able to move the Zoom around the space do? So I know that sounds a bit odd at the outset, but if what the audience is seeing, for example, is the panel discussion, and then at the same time, me on the stage, for example, in this bed setup, you get one energy, but there's also the capacity for me to look at the panel directly. So the question of whether as the panel you can see me, or whether you're only intent on the Zoom call, what happens if we move the panel, move me, the invasiveness of being watched and watching back, and how all of that plays with the kind of power dynamics and script. So we've got a set of kind of pre-set up, what would you call them, Paul, sort of scenes on the software, kind of templates that have people laid out in various ways. And so it's, I think, starting maybe with running through what those templates look like at the moment and how that shifts how the show looks, because I can see what's happening on separate monitors. I'm actually sat here in front of a green screen. So yeah, Paul, if you're able to go through. We don't need to go through the ones that are just me. If we start with the panel Zoom begins, and we'll have a look at how that looks.
And then we go to Zoom start meeting on that scene there. That's where the scene, that's where that
Yeah.
scene, the kind of the transition, if you like, ends there, and then your dialogue will begin, or it's up to you how you want to bring people in or talk people through their behaviour and characteristics.
So Jackie and Mark are both reprising roles that they've had before, I think, and then Lewis is taking on a new role. So this bit is very kind of introductory. It's very much setting the scene for the second half of the show. And the way it's now working in terms of how we have that Zoom setting up, I think feels a lot more present. And whoever's playing panel chair Edward, so currently Lewis, his face would appear on the desktop as if it's a family photo with kind of you and your family. We get the sense that you're opening up a Zoom. It puts the audience in a slightly voyeuristic perspective because they don't come in just seeing a Zoom. They get brought in through the setup of the Zoom, the move from the kind of private into public. And then the layout of these four squares is going to be pretty consistent for that, for the next panel section, and for the subsequent panel sections. The interesting bit, and the bit that we'll be able to play with a bit today, I suspect, Paul, but not huge amounts, is also how it changes the dynamics of the scene if the audience is just seeing what you see now, which is the squares on Zoom, versus, for example, if the audience can see your squares on Zoom, but looking at me on a stage. And then whether you look like you're looking at your camera or whether you look like you're actually looking almost through your screens at where I am. And what happens if we're moving and resizing the Zoom window, and kind of what that does to the power of various elements. Because now, rather than dominating the space, it's actually quite shrunken. And there's the sense suddenly that I can see you just as you can see me. And how possible, Paul, would it be for, instead of my face on this screen, or as well as to have me in my chair looking at them from the stage? So yeah, we've got, that's interesting because it has the sense that I'm on a Zoom as well, and then there's the question of, are we in the same space, in the same Zoom? Yeah, that's another interesting one. If I suddenly pop up in your Zoom, there's the idea of me in the hospital bed type thing on stage, or me in normal clothing on the stage. And I guess a lot of what I'm interested in playing with is, has something just disconnected? I think. Have I still got sound? I can't hear anybody now.
Can you hear?
My hearing aid has done its disconnection noise. It may or may not be connected to the Bluetooth. This is now a mystery. I can't hear anybody. Oh, I may. Hang on a sec. It's right. I think I know what the problem was. Hello again. Sorry. Because I didn't have vMix open on my phone. I was looking at the script. Eventually, Chrome put the page to sleep. Yeah. It's fine. It just means between takes, I need to remember to flick back to Chrome and back. So yeah, it's really playing with the power dynamics of different elements of the visual. So, talking through the panel scenes, the first one is very descriptive, very introductory. So, Luke, are you able to kind of take notes of my ideas in the background? Yeah. So I guess one thing that might be interesting there, Paul, is whether for this first one, I'm in the hospital bed for everything from panel chair. And then when Mark's line comes in with, well, I didn't expect that back, then there's space for me to come into that square in the Zoom window as well. So for the S6, during D44,
Can't hear Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie's audio's me too.
Jackie Lewis, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
One, two, 1, 2.
I can hear that.
Okay.
No.
Can you hear me?
No.
Can we hear? Can we hear Jamie? Jamie, do us another sound? Oh, we lost your connection, Jamie. On vMix. Oh, there we are. No, there we are.
Can you hear me?
It's back to how Jamie's audio was before we did the connection of the vMix call to his phone.
Let's see whether that's where vMix is picking up audio from. It's really loud in the mix for me, but
Your own audio is loud, is it, Jamie?
To me,
Yeah, it is. It is. I can see it's off the scale in the meter. I don't know why I'm not hearing it though.
how's this? How's this? Any better?
No. Oh, good grief, I don't know why that is. Jamie, could you call in on a different number? Sorry, I really apologise about this.
No worries.
Just you're not getting your audio in. We're going to disconnect on that one and try and call in on this one. Okay, here. Can you try? Sorry, 559 435 9515.
Okay, that's me in.
That's better.
However, it's not currently. Let me.
No,
play
don't
with the
worry.
audio.
I know why. Don't worry. That's okay.
No, there's some stuff at my phone end as
Oh,
well.
I see. Okay.
My end. Say something.
Hello.
Hello.
No, if I've got no sound. I'm running through the various ways I can connect. How's it now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
loud and clear.
All good.
Wonderful. I don't know what we've done there. You are Jamie's mic. Hear that? That means any room.
Jamie's gone again.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's muted or Jamie's
Done.
Yeah, I've lost Jamie. Oh no, we're back.
Luke, can I have my laptop, please? I'm wondering if part of the problem.
It's multitasking on there.
Yeah.
When you go to the program, you stop the connection.
But it wasn't doing that entirely before.
No.
So I've got both open now in split screen mode. So we can also see how well that works and whether that keeps it live.
Great, that's good.
And I'll use my laptop if not. But cool. So Luke, if you just hold on to that, I'll grab it off you if I need it for the script.
For me, the sound is very good now.
Yeah, same.
With this first bit then, Paul, what I was thinking was if we have nothing in the screen on that side and we just have me in the hospital bed, right through all of Edward's D44. And then when we have the social worker line, well, I didn't expect that back. If we have me popping into that empty bottom corner of the Zoom while staying in the hospital bed. Does that make sense?
Okay. Let me just run it past you. So we've got the startup Zoom sequence.
Yeah.
When
When
that's finished,
that's finished, the computer draws back to the screen it's on at the moment.
this one here.
So it looks exactly like this, only there's no me on the big window with me in.
Okay, let's just say that.
Is not in some way.
Do that one. That's basically you want that one there. What about that back?
Taking that off as well, so there's just not anything there.
How about the frame of the glass?
Yeah, just leave the frame actually. I quite like that effect because I'll be popping into that later on anyway with Doctor. And then when we get to D45, if we try me coming into the fourth box of the Zoom with panel,
Okay.
so staying where I am but also appearing there.
Let me just do that. So, you do that.
If you three, what I'm trying to work out is what it looks like is where your eye line would have to be for you all to be looking at the empty box on the Zoom. So Lewis would be looking down, I think. Jackie would be looking diagonally down, and Mark would be looking the way Mark is looking now. So you see like that empty fourth box on the Zoom that you're on. If you all look at that a moment, probably in quite a pointed way for it to work. Because obviously if you're just looking at your computer and somebody else appears in a window on your Zoom, where you're looking doesn't actually change. But for the purpose of this, I'm interested in the kind of the unexpected, that if I appear in that gap unexpectedly during Mark's, well, I didn't expect that back, what does it look like for you all to look like you're looking at a person who's just appeared in your midst in that space? I don't know if that made any sense.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So I can just about see faces, but I can't see facial expressions really because it's quite small.
We just do one.
Cool. Because that way we get the kind of like the distant professional that I'm just here being observed, and then the slightly like the unexpectedness that on what is sort of a slightly nasty line almost, that actually in this world I can just appear in your meeting and then vanish again. I'm interested in the sense that the virtual and the reality are no longer fixed objects. It's not either taking place on the stage or taking place in a Zoom, but that things can liminally move between them in a disconcerting way, and that reactions are then also disconcerting in the sense that you're all looking at me in that corner, but as if I'd appeared in a physical space. So rather than looking at your screen and seeing an extra face, it's suddenly like there is a person down there that I'm looking at. Basically being playful with the limits of the technology. Then we've got, so then while Paul is busy designing, Luke, for the next panel scene, which is S8, I'm thinking if I'm not on the stage, I am just in the Zoom window. So I'm just in my own Zoom window, so the one that's on the right of the screen.
In the Zoom window.
No, in the Zoom window that says Jamie in the corner and is otherwise empty. So there's a sense of like that panel is saying, you know, well, we have to make our decisions independently. And I'm clearly on a screen watching, and panel is clearly on a screen, and for the audience a kind of queasiness about whether we're in the same screens or not, because I'm not in the corner of your Zoom, I'm in a separate one, and how that balances it. And then once we're running this, a lot of it will just be about where we're looking. That's an interesting concept, Paul.
Yeah. Coming in on that as well. That's a separate telescope.
Yeah.
Because the way your camera's orientated, you want to go in portrait rather than landscape.
But I quite like that because it distinguishes me and it has this like slightly unprofessional sense.
Feels more Zoom.
Yeah. And it also, you get a sense again, like you've got the professional for their meeting and you've got like me at a weird camera angle on my phone. Like I'm not prepared, I'm not there in quite the same way.
It doesn't actually go to that shot. Like that.
And what's interesting about this then is that I can look at myself appearing in surprise.
Yeah, so you've got two different camera views.
Yeah.
That's quite nice. You can play that. One is very much in that kind of obvious Zoom type, correct?
Yeah. And then for the next panel scene, Paul, what I was thinking was get rid of the me in the wheelchair on the stage completely and put me back in the other big Zoom window where it has Jamie in the bottom corner.
Okay, so it's like...
So that's for S8, D61 to D63.
Can't hear Jamie again.
I know.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah, so then with this panel scene, which is let me go back to the script line numbers. So yeah, so this is S8, D61 to D63. And then I've lost the loop. If with This is the second panel.
So this Jamie's. I'm making new scenes.
Sorry?
Don't worry, I'm just putting new scenes in for you as you talk. I don't know exactly where to go to script. I haven't got the script in front of me.
That's fine. We can juggle those because I think there's the 3 significant panel scenes. So I've now figured out kind of what I'm aiming to do for setup for each of those. And then there's the kind of the question of whether panel are observing at other times or not. And I think that for me, there's something about panel sometimes flickering in on that screen and then flickering out again to observe a particular moment, and that sense that nothing is private or solid and you don't quite know when you're being watched. Let me know when you've got the scenes set up.
I'm good with
Oh,
the scenes.
cool.
What you've described to me, I'm good with the scenes.
I had one more, which is for the third panel section, starting with panel as they are now, and then whether it can zoom to become the full monitor with me in the 4th section, and then zoom back to become it. Makes sense.
So then go that way.
Yeah.
Zoom you in very well.
No, this works. At least for now, for what we're trying, this works. It doesn't have to be design-wise perfect. I think it's getting a sense of what that does to the script and what that does to the performance.
Yeah.
So in that case, do we want to go to that first setup and run it?
Okay.
I don't think we need the full intro of Edward loading Zoom.
Okay.
I think we could just run it from when panel Zoom begins.
I mean, just getting a recording.
Yeah, go for it. Do it that way. Absolutely.
I don't know if you want the actor to respond in a particular way.
So I think initially it is just you are appearing, you've got your Zoom, you're listening to Edward's kind of introduction. When I appear, so Paul, I appear after the line receiving prior to admission. So when it'll initially be the square that I'm currently in empty, and I'll just be in the hospital bed on stage. When I appear in this square, if you all look towards that square, so it's whether you're looking down or looking sideways or diagonally down or whatever, this sense that I know that if someone actually appeared on a Zoom, you wouldn't look in a different place, but that for Lewis would look down, Jackie would look diagonally down, and Mark would look to the side. This sense that somehow not only have I appeared in somewhere I shouldn't be, but also that the physics of Zoom and the real world become a bit entangled, and you're looking as if someone's appeared in the real world with you. Yeah, I don't know how this will play out, but I think it's reduced to the care package he was receiving prior to admission.
Sorry.
Reduced to the care package he was receiving prior to admission. Because after that is Mark's line, well, I didn't expect that back. And so now there's the sense that could also almost refer to the fact that I've just appeared in their Zoom.
on that, we will transition from what is this, what that was spoken in this.
So we begin here, but without me being visible on the Zoom. Yeah, and we've got Mark's line. Well, I didn't expect that back, but we've also kind of got everyone looking down or sideways at me as I appear in their physical space. So 1 minute they were observing me and I was unable to observe back, and the next minute I'm in the space that they're in.
It's not sorry, I know it's hot in here. I can't hear anything. Struggling with the sound. So Jamie, just to recap, we're going to, when it's reduced to the care package he was previously receiving, that is on the scene on the full Zoom window.
So we've gone through the really fancy recorded transition of everyone arriving.
Yes.
And if you take me out of that fourth square for the moment, like my mobile phone vmix.
Oh, we've lost Jamie again.
I think we've lost you because you're not in your vmix. You're muted.
Just turn his camera off.
Just turn my camera on and off from my phone. Let's do that for now. If you put me back. Yeah, so now hang on, let me just try something at my end, Paul. There we are. So I can actually.
I've solved it now, don't worry.
Oh, it's all right. I can control it from here though. Because I can just do this with my video. If you just leave my video on in that section, my call on.
Right.
So if you put me back in that bottom section, Paul, and then what we'll do is I'll simply switch my video off. And can everyone still hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Brilliant. And then when I want to pop up in it, I'll switch my video on. So in that case, Paul, there are no transitions needed at your end during this scene anymore because I'll be doing that changeover.
Okay, all right.
So do we want to take that section from the beginning? We've got the pre-recorded intro that Paul has, and then into this scene as it is now, and I'll just keep my video off until I want my video on. Cool?
Yeah, that's good. I'll just put you in the right place. So I want to run Zoom start.
Yeah, cool.
And just remind me, on what line do you want me to switch to this shot now?
So once the Zoom start has finished, we go to this shop.
Okay, once the Zoom starts.
Yeah, once the Zoom is open,
Okay.
and before anyone starts speaking,
Okay.
we go to this, and I'll control when I want my video in this and when I don't.
All right.
And then that's a bit easier, I think.
All right.
Cool.
We're going to record this.
Amazing.
Zoom start. Now.
Well, I hope you've both had an excellent lunch break. And welcome back, albeit virtually. The next case for today is Mr. Hale, James, 30. He's wheelchair bound, ventilation at night, complex catheter, stoma, feeding pump care, 7 daily injections, medically unstable with regular interventions required, history of serious pressure sores, recently discharged from hospital following admission for malnutrition and pressure sores on a 24-hour care package, which is now under review, to see if it can be reduced to the care package he was receiving prior to admission.
Well, I didn't expect that back.
Amazing. That's where that scene ends. So that works really well, I think.
And then it transitions to the doctor after that, doesn't it?
I'm trying to keep both vMix and my script operational at once, and it's easier said than done. Yes, it does. It does switch to the doctor after that. And so for that, then I'm still in the wheelchair on stage. And we just have me back in my Zoom window and the doctor in theirs. And so we've already trialed that and we know how that works. No, I'm good. I don't have any lines with panel, so I just need to remember what panel is saying, so I don't need my own script too much as long as I've got it to reference between shots. So then the next bit is D61, D62, D63, which is about Mr. Hale's package to be continued. Wonderful news. Make our decisions independently. And so for that one, Paul, this is the one I'm imagining that we've got me in the really big Zoom window, not in this little one. So yeah. So we've got the sense that you're on a Zoom, I'm on a Zoom. Am I on the same Zoom as you? Who knows? Like where I am on stage, etc.
Do you want to try and record that scene before we go forward? Or
let's try and record the next scene because it's only those. It's only 3 lines, and it's in this setup.
Okay.
So we're coming out of my scene with the doctor. How does my scene with the doctor end, Paul? What did we end up with? Where am I at the end? Because it's the.
It cuts to the bravery panels.
So this is before but in my scene with the doctor.
Yeah.
Is it just these 2 Zooms, or am I visible on stage as well?
You're visible on stage. You're like that.
Cool. Then if we put me back in both. I was just realizing that otherwise I just kind of, oh no, I don't have to come back in both. We can just fade this out. Yeah, I think fading it out works fine. And then we've just got the panel on one side and me on the other.
Okay.
Yeah, so then we don't have to have me on stage. So then if we try and run this section from panel's perspective, I think you're insular, you're looking at a Zoom, you're not noticing me or looking at me particularly. It's just the kind of, you're looking at your screen and your webcam and not paying any, there's no three-dimensional space in this moment. It's just a Zoom. And the kind of the interesting thing is that I can look at you and react to you from this Zoom window, but we don't know whether you can see me or not. That's not left clear. So do we want to run those 3 lines for recording, Paul?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're recording, so are we ready?
Well, Mr. Hale has asked for the package to be continued.
What wonderful news. Must have taken a lot of bravery.
We do have to make our decisions independently.
And then that would end there. What happens at the beginning of bravery then, Paul? Because we've got the letters smashing.
You've got, that's right, you've got this. Different.
Cool.
So we basically, we're going to go on there on bravery, then you're going to go to.
If you take it back to where it was at the end of the one we've just trialed, then I think, so I think then when we finalize it, what we could do is as these 2 big screens fade out, I start out tiny in the background and become bigger and bigger and smash through the letters, as if accelerating forwards across the stage. So these could just fade out. They're redundant for the moment. And then just brave. That works. We have the letters. This is one of the places, Ben, where we've kind of managed to get a bit more of the creativity into the caption. So this is one of the places where we've been playing with how you can move letters and words on the screen. Kind of me smashing through a word.
Okay.
And that's one of the things I want to think about as we think about how on earth to creatively caption a piece that's designed to be existing in this virtual space, is the fact that the captions can also be 3-dimensional and interacted with.
It might be easier to take, I don't know, the way we initially we're going to set up to do it is to go to that shot to reveal the brave first.
I mean, we can do that. We can have the panel going to being full screen. That's fine. That works. It fits quite nice textually as well, in the sense that they're saying, we have to make our decisions independently. And then the screen that has me on that was to the side of them has vanished. And panel has gone full screen.
Okay.
So we go, Paul, from it. I don't think it was this setup. It was panel on panel screen, me in the middle and me on my screen.
Okay, sorry.
do not worry. Sorry, I know I'm changing things on the fly without any idea of how technically complex the things I'm asking for are. And if we're able to stick me in the hospital bed back in as well. Again, if that's not. Cool. So then we've got this, and then it goes to just the whole monitor being the 3 panel people on Zoom. Maybe this. So this is the section for. So then, yeah. So Paul, if you transition to this after Jackie says must have taken a lot of bravery, and as Mark says, but we have to make our decisions independently, because then we're getting me being wiped out of it completely to go to this, which then allows me to come back in with the brave moment.
Okay.
Shall we give that a try?
Yeah, so go on bravery.
So we start with D61, which is, yeah, we're set up like this. We've got, Mr. Hale has asked for the package to be continued. What wonderful news. Must have taken a lot of bravery. And then at the, as Jackie says, kind of, or rather as Lewis says, comes in to say, but we have to make our decisions independently. So kind of on the line, on Jackie's bravery / Lewis's butt, we go back to that big full screen Zoom. So Jackie will say bravery, and Lewis will kind of cut in with, but we have to make our decisions independently. And as Lewis cuts in, we go to the panel just being full screen. So yeah, just between the words, kind of on the words of bravery and but, because Lewis almost interrupts Jackie there.
So we're on that scene there.
And we're like this for the line, but we have to make our decisions independently. And then.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the line comes in with the line bravery, and then Lewis comes in with but we have to. On that, we want to go
to.
We want to merge, or we want to
just
cut, fade.
Anything with cut sharp.
I'll tell you what, better to do. It was actually like this before, so probably better to do this quite quick.
Yeah, and then it can be there for, but we have to make our decisions independently, and then that allows it where I come and shatter the text to work.
When do you want the bravery shattering text to come in?
After, but we have to make our decisions independently. So just, yeah.
Okay, starts there then.
Yeah, so it would be like this for, Mr. Hale has asked for the package to be continued. What wonderful news, must have taken a lot of bravery. But we have to make our decisions independently. Perfect. Yeah. Amazing. Right. Do we, in that case, want to run this bit?
Go for it.
So do you want to take us, Paul, to where I am at the end of the scene with the doctor, or do you want it to start from here? Maybe easier to start from here, mayn't it?
Yeah.
The only change actually is that panel and doctor swap, like panel have appeared where doctor was. So yeah. In that case, if we do these next 3 lines, and we'll record this little chunk. Let us know when you're ready at your own, Paul.
I'm ready. I'm ready here.
Cool. Over to you then, Lewis.
Well, Mr. Hale has asked for the package to be continued.
What wonderful news. Must have taken a lot of bravery.
But we have to make our decisions independently.
Brave. Brilliant.
Okay.
That worked what I was aiming for.
Okay. All right. Good.
The more we do in this virtual space, the more I become aware of what we could be doing, which is dangerous. And then, so we go through that. We go through. So we go through bravery, and then the next bit is. So the next bit is the. We're here to discuss how best to help. I made a note of what I was thinking for that.
Called after bravery panel scene 1.
Yep. So what are we actually going for with this? Like, it's the absolute kind of objectification of it that it is just a case, it's a few sheets of paper, it's like that Jackie's role is kind of the only person left that cares, because you haven't yet become captured and burnt out enough to no longer really be able to care. There's a line later on which isn't in this, which is one of Mark's lines of everybody needs things and doesn't get them. And that's the kind of the energy of the system, is that sense that you kind of all know that people need things, and Jackie still thinks that they can have them. Mark has become kind of just embittered by perhaps once having been as enthusiastic as Jackie, and now kind of realizing that all you are doing is like scrabbling at the surface of something that cannot actually be shifted, and that Edward is probably under a lot of pressure from above as well as from below, kind of trapped between like Jackie's sort of optimism, but also the fact that you're in a position where you've got the budget oversight for the area. So you're the one going in your head, well, if we allocate this budget to this person, where does that come from? And how do, what cuts do we make in one place to allow another? That sense that like, you could be in 5 meetings with Jackie arguing for more in every meeting very justifiably, but there is no real more. One of the kind of things that was kind of a lot richer in the script for this scene before was the kind of gender and trans element, because that was more heavily embedded in the wider show before. That's less prominent in the wider show now. So I think like it's still very much there, but it's maybe less of the point of it now is to kind of more show the lack of attention that's actually being paid to any individual in their file.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a kind of, it's not necessarily a deliberate disrespect. It's more just like, we really don't have the time to care about this right now. Can we not just make a move on? Is it really that important?
Yeah.
So then there's the question. There's the question then of what I'm doing in this scene and where I'm placed, / if I'm placed, because there's something interesting also about that blank square.
I mean, you initially were going to have that for
Yeah, that would have. Yeah, but I think at the moment, for what we're trying to do this summer, because we couldn't get someone in for that slot in the end, despite trying quite hard, I think we use it and we work out how to do BSL properly as we develop this, rather than just leaving like an empty space. So from a kind of scenography and direction perspective, I guess the question is what we do with whether we place me in this scene at all, or whether I'm just gone.
I can flash you. Initially, you're gonna flash up like this, so we can just have a sudden burst of view. But we could put you in that little window instead.
Yeah, can that little window show me on stage?
Yeah, like in the green screen background.
Yeah. So that window becomes a window to the stage rather than a window to me being on Zoom.
Yeah.
So you get the sense of like.
Sorry, do you mean when you say window on stage?
So in that fourth gap at the moment, when it flashes up, we get the sense of me with the stage lights in my wheelchair, not me as a face participating in Zoom. If that makes sense. I don't know if it can be done.
Yeah, I can do that. I can put you there as the. So what we can do instead of having it there,
So I suppose actually with this we can. I don't know. I quite like it just being empty. I quite like there just being this vacancy, this hole. And perhaps the idea that you're all looking towards that hole as you're talking about me. So there becomes this space that you're looking at that's representative because it's the space that I have been in, but that I'm not. Because I feel like this actually doesn't work as well as just having an empty space that you keep looking at to refer to me in that weird, like multi-dimensional, you're looking at a physical space when you wouldn't normally do that in a Zoom way. If we hide me again for the moment, Paul, can we run it with that idea that like at the moments that feel natural where you might look at the person you're referring to, that you're instead just looking at this black square on the screen. I'll mute so we don't have my sound coming in, I guess. And then, yeah, so if you just run from D86 through D92, just as this conversation where that place that you would be looking in order to point your head at where, in order to look on the screen like you're looking at that space that I'm in. So like quite a pointed sort of connection with that gap, but that there's nothing in the gap. I feel like there's something quite horrid about that in some ways. Cool. Shall we give that a go? I will be silent.
We are here to discuss how best to help Mr. Hale lead an independent life within financial constraints we are working inside. As you are aware, we have faced significant budget cuts over the past 12 months. She has requested that we continue her current 24-hour funded care package, but we find ourselves under no obligation to do so. If we can meet his needs effectively with an alternate provision.
Their needs.
Does this really matter?
Before we begin, he has provided us with an outline of his current position.
They have provided us.
Really?
which we ought to hear in our consideration of his medical evidence and the broader situation we are presented with.
I like that, but I think actually it is too static if that's all we have. If I, Paul, the video that's coming in from my mobile rather than the camera here,
Yes.
Can you put that into the square, into that fourth square?
Yeah, and you can switch it on and off.
Exactly. Yeah. Then that means that as you're speaking, I can flicker in and out of existence, possibly in response to being looked at. I'm not quite sure how I'll do it yet. It may be that when I notice someone, Mark does this particularly easily, I think, just because of how the windows are laid out, looking at me, then I kind of moments when I'm sort of there and then not there again. I think it will just mean that it's a bit less static when we've got so much change happening in a lot of the other scenes. Is it still recording, or do we want to?
Recording all the time.
Cool. In that case, if we take this one from the beginning, and I will just try doing some flickering in and out at various moments that seem sensible.
So we are here to discuss how best to help Mr. Hale lead an independent life within the financial constraints we are working inside. As you are aware, we have faced significant budget cuts over the past 12 months. She has requested that we continue her current 24-hour funded care package, but we find ourselves under no obligation to do so. If we can meet his needs effectively with an alternative provision.
Their needs.
Does this really matter?
Before we begin, he has provided us with an outline of his current position.
They have provided us.
Really?
Which we ought to hear in our considerations of his medical evidence and the broader situation we are presented with.
If someone is talking, we cannot hear anyone.
Apologies, I was on mute. Sorry, I was on mute. I was just going to say, I think there's another bit. I think, just checking with Jamie which scene he wants to go to next, what they want to go to next, because we've got we got after Bravery panel scene 5, which is before the bit with paralysis to Singapore. We did a section with Singapore yesterday.
Right, that's the bit we've just done.
But what about this bit here where it does this? We open up a screen share. It's not actually the panel scene, but you appear, yeah, and then you appear in that one actually, like that.
So that would happen, and it would be from that I transitioned into the scene with Jade.
Yes, that's right. I see. So this is purely a transition after that, is it? Into the scene with Jade. Okay, I've got you. That's fine then. That's fine. I'm with you now. Yeah. That makes sense. Yes.
The other people, we've then got the scene
Yeah.
where we've got a performer from Singapore
Yep.
who is moving round me for the next
Okay. But
that where panel have said
I'll
you
run
know,
it.
that that becomes the outline of my current position that I provided them with. So that's why we go to kind of as if the panel chair is screen sharing that outline, and the outline that they screen share is the scene with Jade and I.
Exactly. Yeah, and then it goes to the scene with you, with you and Jade, in the Singapore scene, the paralysis, essentially. Okay, fine.
And then there is
Sorry, Jamie, I was a bit confused there. You got.
then there's another bit where panel cut in.
Yeah.
And that's just Lewis's yeah.
And that cuts in from the scene from Singapore. The scene with Jade you did yesterday. You cut to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the scene with Jade, which ends with they don't get to make my body into my definition. We then get Edward kind of cutting back in, possibly a bit bored, a bit irritated, but kind of just knowing that all of this boring, long stuff is part of doing a job that you don't really want to be doing. That's where we got the thank you, Mr. Hale. We appreciate that it was not ideal that you couldn't join us in person, but and then we've got the kind of final scene of the bit we're working on, which is so this final scene call is primarily me.
Yep.
The only question there is, with all of the kind of moments, so at the moment it has in the script ping sound, whether in some way we have panel flash up behind me and vanish at each of those moments as a kind of interruption.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of panel then the about came and told me, etc. The entire bloody world all the time.
So this is this. Oh. That's the scene with you and DL in, isn't it?
Yeah. What do we have set for that at the moment?
Nothing other than we have a soundtrack of you speaking and DL with. I can take the sound off, of course, but
And
sorry, bear with me.
And told me that the wheelchair lift was broken. So I had to submit my evidence by video. As if they couldn't just wait for it to be repaired. As if this wasn't the entire bloody world all the bloody time.
Yes, it's what I think if we just silence
You know what,
the element.
darling?
Yep, just doing it now.
If I were in charge, the wheel.
And then how difficult would it be? So behind DL and I, for the Zoom window that has the 3 panel members in,
Yeah.
to occasionally pop up,
As a complete background.
as if it was on a screen behind us.
Like previously, how we did it
Yeah.
with
We could even just use one of those sideways screens.
Yeah, bear with me. I can do that. Could you just hold on a tick? I need to arrange it. Just want to. It's 12:15 now.
Yeah.
It will take me a few minutes to do that.
Then in that case,
I can do it. I can do it.
I think given time constraints, we can do that later because we don't actually need panel to be live for that, because it would be for a split second. A screenshot of what that looks
Oh,
like.
okay. That's true. I could do that. I could bring the panel up without any audio, just what we recorded. So this, for example, this shot here, not that shot. Sorry. Just like a shot like that.
Yeah, just like we can just take screenshots from the existing.
Yeah. Got you.
Because it literally provided a millisecond.
Yeah, from the bits that were.
Interrupting.
Of course.
And instead, if we try and record that final line of Lewis's.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Just because we don't yet have that.
Okay, let's do that. Let's get that one in there. So that's that shot there. So, do you want to cue Lewis in, or?
So basically, Lewis, when this screen comes up, we've just got that one line G102. So do you want to go back to the cue for Paul, and then bring it up when it comes up into this screen so that we're ready for that line.
Okay, so it's that one. No. Sorry, it's not that one. It cuts from.
It cuts from the end of
Sorry, we can't hear Jamie at all.
Jamie, they can't hear you. They can't hear you.
That's because I'm on mute. I could hear myself. I was still getting myself in my speakers.
Yeah,
So I assumed everyone could hear me.
That's right.
That explains an awful lot.
Are you still hearing yourself, Jamie? You shouldn't be.
I am.
That's weird. I don't know why that is.
Who knows? Mysteries. So if we go to the end of the scene with Jade, Paul, and then we'll get a scene coming up that's
Sure.
just Lewis, and then when you come up in that box, if we can get the D102, just so that we've got that also recorded.
It's basically that scene because the link from Singapore's not there. So that's why there's a big black box in the way.
That's fine.
And it just goes
We
to.
just get that Lewis line.
Thank you, Mr. Hale. We appreciate that was not ideal, but thank you, Mr. Hale. We appreciate that was not ideal and that you couldn't join us in person, but
just because of timing, Paul, because we're done filming me mostly, I said yes to putting the lights away.
Okay, sorry.
If we get that one from Lewis once more, just like for accuracy. And then,
Yeah. Okay. Can we do that again? Okay, and
thank you, Mr. Hale. We appreciate that it was not ideal that you couldn't join us in person, but
Brilliant.
Thank you. And told me that
okay.
So yeah, in that case, we now have recordings. I can't see anything on the monitors, but I presume they're still there.
Oh, sorry.
Brilliant. How many me's are there behind me? I'm multiplying. Brilliant. We now have worked out what we're doing for all of the panel scenes, and we've got recording of how it'll work.
Yep. So all my notes are recorded. We could go back and we could reconfigure it all. That's fine. No problem.
I'm sorry, I know I've kept throwing things in.
That's all right. Don't worry. That's fine.
I don't think quite how interesting and multi-dimensional it would become.
Yeah.
When we actually started using the software, because we sort of talked about it and I'd seen versions,
Sure.
but realizing the extent to which you can move people
Of course.
in and around the physical space.
Yeah. There are multiple ways we can treat and play around with each person's video. So I can take your video here, Jamie, and stretch it and do all sorts of different things with it. So it's easily done.
But I guess what I hadn't really understood was the impact of the theatrical impact of what we're playing with.
Yes.
I'd conceptualized that it would work, but not the extent to which, when I was working with the performer from Singapore, there was various moments where it felt really weird because I could see her touching me, and that was very very strange.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
But yeah, I think we probably need to pack up at this end. I think we've got what we needed, really, haven't we?
Yeah. It's good.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. I realise it's a bit of an odd acting job in terms of most of it being let's patch some sound. But when it all comes together, it really looks fantastic. And as we get something full together, I'll obviously send you all a way of seeing it.
Amazing.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks,
Send
Jack.
invoices to Jack if you haven't already.
I will do.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.